Good noonday, everybody. Welcome back. And we're super glad to have you and to host another one of our CRC Music in the Studio Student Spotlights. This is number 2 for the semester of our new series here at CRC at Cosumnes River College. We're so glad to present another offering of our students' great work that they've been putting together, both vocally and instrumentally. I am joined by my peer and colleague, Maxwell Kiesner, professor of instrumental music. I'm Omari Tao, professor of vocal music. And we're going to share a bunch of different things for you that students have been working on this round. Of course, you'll see here on the screen that we are assisted by Gabriel Rivera and Dr. Lisa Beebe, who are back there making sure that everything runs well. They're the people behind the green curtain, as it were. So yeah, Max. So this is our second time pulling this together, working with students to see this student spotlight. So it's their chance to shine based on the work they've done. How did it go this time?
Yeah. Hi, how are you doing? Doing good. It's the learning curve is steep, but I think we're getting a hold of this thing now. Last time we did this, we did a little screen sharing, and maybe I can do a little bit of that now just to remind our audience of what's going on. Our musicians are using what's called the digital audio workstation, and the one we're using is called BandLab. And so this is what it looks like. Anybody can go to the website and check this out. And so I've all created accounts there. This is my account. And I've created a band called the CRC Instrumental Music Ensemble. So all of our members are in here. And what we did is we started to create projects within this. And the more we use this audio workstation, the more we're getting familiar with, just the workflow and how to use some shortcuts and how to best kind of use the technology there in addition to whatever devices we have at home. So I think, to say that it's going a lot better would be a safe statement, but also, we're still encountering some issues as we will along the way. This is a learning process really for all of us, but I'm really excited by the possibilities. And I know that the students that are having a lot of success with this are just digging in and really, really having fun. So you're going to see the fruits of that labor in just a short while. So
Absolutely. Awesome. No, I agree with you. There is definitely a learning curve. There's that dance between performance and production. And in this way, a lot of production is happening. Production of performance, but more production maybe in some instances. So that is a very interesting sort of concern for a lot of musicians who may not be aware of the production element associated with their performance. At some point, someone usually takes the music they've made and they clean it up, or they put it in a hall, by putting a little reverb on their sound, or what have you, fixing a little this and that and the other. I witnessed there was an instrumental ensemble working on one of their live performances in a concert that they created, and they created an incredible live performance, and someone in the audience coughed at a particular moment for a very soft flute solo, and they had software that could go and scrub that flute and make sure that the flute was clean and get rid of the cough. So our students are forced with having to battle with whether they're going to allow their performances to be flawless and perfect and clean, or whether they want to scrub and clean things throughout as they present their final work. So today is sort of a chance to see some of that work that they, and the choices that they made.
Yeah, absolutely. We did talk a little bit about some of that stuff in the last few sessions. We've been talking about the difference between being a live performance musician, being somebody who's, say, like, a concertmaster of a major orchestra, versus someone who's a studio musician, and how they're similar but different disciplines in many ways. So I'm really excited by our next round as well. This round we have somewhat more traditional music offerings, not in this first segment that I'm going to share. I'll describe that just before I play it, but in our large ensemble works. And so For next month, the two of us, our groups are getting together. So we have our choirs and our instrumental ensembles working together on two pieces, some pop music, and that'll
Yeah.
give us a real taste as to what it's like to be a pop musician. Like, how do you actually get that sound on an acoustic instrument? You know, or how do you
Right.
really make that production kind of come off in a live setting like we're trying to recreate here anyway?
I think
And
you might be making some news to our singers. So those singers who are watching right now, I think they're going, "What? We're going to do pop music? What?"
yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, no, it's gonna be really fun. It's gonna be really great. We got a Beyonce tune for y'all. It's gonna be really fun. So,
That's right.
so one of the other things we were discussing just before we came on the air was, you know, how our roles as teachers is changing somewhat. Again, we still provide the musical guidance that we can via this virtual format, but what this really allows us is opportunity to provide a platform for our students' individual talents and to kind of step back and let the magic happen on their end, right? You kind of pass off some of that responsibility to the students. And so
Yeah.
we're going to start off with some solo and small ensemble works by the instrumental students. I think I've got 5 of them, and they're all really diverse. We've got a country song, we've got a Baroque English horn duet, we've got a jazz ballad, we've got an original composition, and we have a pop song. And I got to tell you that when I heard these works, these specific works, I was just blown away. It's some of the best stuff I've heard made by my students ever. I mean, in the last 12 years, 13 years of teaching,
Wow, that's
this stuff is really,
amazing.
really good. So, you know, you're going to want to get that volume knob turned up on some of these. So I'm going to share my screen here, and I'm going to play it from my end. We're going to start off with the instrumental music. Here we go. Okay, here we go. So selected solo and small ensemble works. We're going to start off today with a piece called Crazy. Many of you know this work, and this one's performed and arranged by one of our violinists, Deborah Avalos. So I'm going to let her take it away. Here we go. All right. Deborah Avalos on violins, mandolin, and piano performing Crazy.
Wow.
Loved it. I love that song, and I love her description of this as well.
Yeah. It
Beautiful.
does capture this incredible sort of sense of melancholy about the song "Crazy for Loving You," right? But I love that sort of juxtaposition of Willie Nelson out somewhere in the countryside of Italy. That's really awesome.
Yeah, I love it. And I like that she included this note here for those of you reading along. She said she's using a lead sheet to play the melody, make arpeggiated accompaniment, and added harmony. So what that means is a song will have essentially like all of the shortcuts. It'll have the melody and the chords written down, the rhythms and everything that you need to perform a song. And it'll happen usually just on one sheet or maybe 2 sheets of music rather than a big long piece or a big long composition, right? So a lead sheet is essentially just the basic tools you need to create a song. And from that, she was able to create her accompaniment on the piano, essentially composed her own, and then added harmonies of her own for the violin and mandolin. So this is a really essential tool for musicians who are playing gigs, who are jobbing musicians, those who are playing in a variety of settings. They might be playing with different instruments that play in different keys, and you have to create your own arrangements on the spot, right? So great skill. All right. Oh, sorry. Let's move on to Lynn Fowler. And Lynn Fowler is not only an oboe player, but she's also an English horn player, amongst other things. And a former employee at CRC. She actually works at ARC now. But she's going to perform this duet by Telemann with her teacher, Dr. Cynthia Beamer. And it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous recording. And if you've never heard an English horn before, this will be your first time. It's a fantastic recording of the both of them playing. Here we go.
Is that the end of it? That was great. I can't hear you, Max. Is it me or?
Sorry, there we go.
There you go. All right, gotcha.
I clicked the button. It's just one click away, isn't it? The difference between success.
Always.
All right, I apologize about that, and I apologize about clicking in the middle of the performance. But God, fantastic, fantastic playing.
Lovely.
Unbelievable. And this brings to mind something, when you get to play with your teachers, when you get to play with other people, it just kind of brings this whole new level of appreciation for what we do. You create this chemistry, you create beautiful harmony, you get to model your sound after someone that you really respect and admire. So for all of our students out there, make sure you're getting a chance to play along with your teachers, even in this virtual setting, in whatever way you possibly can. I know they put this together over the course of a few weeks, so it takes a bit of effort. But
definitely. But the results are great.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. All right, let's move on to a young man who's new to CRC. His name is Stephen Podrasky. He's a tenor saxophone player. And I met him last year before he came to CRC as a high school kid. He was in a group that we called the Elk Grove All-Stars. And it was kind of all like the best hot young talent in Elk Grove area. And they came over to CRC. We created an all-star jazz band, and he was in that group. And was really just an impressive young man and a really fantastic player. Has made some leaps and bounds already in his progress this semester. So he's going to play My Foolish Heart for you. And I'm actually going to switch screens so we can get some better video quality here. So pardon my transition.
Stephen is one of our, like you said, new music majors, and it's great to have Stephen with our group and performing, meeting with them and speaking with them, and it's great to see his growth. And he always puts together really interesting performances. So I'm excited to hear this.
Yes, yes, he is on top of it. Here we go. My Foolish Heart. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Stephen, man,
Yeah, I couldn't help but sway. And it was really
just
nice.
just beautiful playing, really thoughtful approach to the melody and
Hmm.
really great time feel, great intonation, and man, just great stuff.
Yeah,
Do
there's
you
a
know the
level
lyrics
of
to that?
mature. I don't know the lyrics to that. I was thinking about it and I was like, I can't recall them. Um, but there's a certain amount of maturity to the sound, to the approach to improvisation as well. That's really wonderful to sit and listen to. You feel like you don't need to be on the forward edge. You just sort of sit back and let him do all the work, and it's really great.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Yeah, absolutely. So let's see. We're gonna move ahead here. Um, so this next young gentleman is just so impressive. As is as was the last. And you know, I'm just gonna say a lot of good things about the students here. That's really my job, is just to talk them up. But we
Right.
heard a piece from Evan French last time as well. He composed a piece for solo marimba, which he performed. And composed, of course. So he wrote a different piece. This one's called Stardust. And at first, when I heard that, I thought of the Hoagie Carmichael jazz standard, right? And it sounds nothing like that. So just be ready. But he did compose this, and he performed all of the parts on it as well. So this is for a flute and vibraphone. I had no idea he was such a great flute player. And you can judge for yourself, of course.
I was not either. I heard a little bit of this when you approved it for the performance, and I was going, "What? This is a side instrument, okay?" And my understanding is vibraphone is fairly new to him as well. Mallet instruments are fairly new as well. So this is, I feel like we're getting an insight into the beginning of something, which is really great.
Yeah, like we were mentioning with one of the open mics or student performances, you know, Jacob Collier's room, and Tyler Burke was playing from his room. And we have so many
Yep.
talented multi-instrumentalists in our program, and Evan is definitely one of those. Apparently he's a really fantastic bassoon player as well. So I don't know where you get all this talent from, but you know, maybe you can pass some of that around.
Right. Save some for us. My goodness.
But so enjoy this piece. He's got a description of the piece here for you to read as we listen, and it's a really just a gorgeous piece of music. So enjoy. Here we go.
Yeah. Nice.
Fantastic job,
Nice.
Evan. Whew. What did you
We
think?
need the sheet music to that one. Maybe Professor Erickson, who's out there listening and watching, can help us with getting some things. Maybe we can start a CRC publishing or something like that, Student Composers Publishing Program. You never know. He's
I would
here.
love, I would love to get my hands on some sheet music and arrange it for our concert band, for a choir. That is such a
Ooh.
gorgeous piece of music. Really
Hmm.
developmental, really colorful, using common tones with changing chords beneath it, and just lovely, lovely work. I get the sense that maybe, Evan is the kind of student who, and the kind of composer who will investigate an instrument, figure out what it can do, and then write a piece based on what you've discovered about that instrument. And it's a good approach for
Absolutely.
composers to have, to
Yeah, there's
just,
something fresh, raw about that. Yeah.
yeah. It's like, oh, I can do this on the flute. I couldn't do that on my vibraphone. So maybe I can write a piece that uses that tool, you know what I mean? That technique. And so
Mhm.
that's a really valuable thing for all our composers out there, just to get your hands dirty, to get into some of these instruments that you're writing for and figure out what's possible.
Yeah.
Not only just the
Yeah.
practical arrangement, but tone, color, and things like that.
Yeah, he understands texture. Evan, I'm assuming you're out there, but the texture of, the sort of smooth, the longer lines of the flute and the more dancing rhythmic movement of the vibraphone. And but there's a lovely interplay where they line up sometimes and then they don't, and it's really well done. So uh, that's incredible to experience for someone who's so new to these instruments and ostensibly from in composition period. So this is really a wonderful. As a listener, I just feel like like I said, I'm part of something special. So it's really great to um, be on this side of it.
Yeah. Fantastic job, Evan. All right. And we have,
I'm
as
here.
much as I would love to listen to it one more time, we're going to end with this piece, and I don't really need to say much more than this is ridiculously good. Okay. Um, I've been listening to this song for the past maybe 3 or 4 days, like on repeat.
Wow.
It's so good. It is so good. And this is written, performed by Jackson Lyle, who is one of our guitarists. He's also singing on this track, and he's part of a group. I believe it's called Two Fly. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jackson, if you're out there. But this is part of a group he's involved with outside of school, outside of the academic environment. But they have a record coming out, and so he passed this on to me, and it is just one of the best things I've heard. And it's just so good. So congratulations to Jackson, and y'all need to be looking out for him and his name and the name of this group with the record coming out soon. So we hope you enjoy. I'll leave it at that. Turn it up.
To describe the way I feel inside when I'm with you. Baby, ease my mind and help me feel alive the way that you do. So hard to describe the way I feel inside when I'm with you. Oh baby, let me hold you tight, tell you that you're mine now. I love you so. Oh baby, when you find time, I'll show you right, yeah. Just let me know. Wanna be taking my time with you. Wanna be taking this time with you. I wanna take all my time in it, that's for sure. Wanna be taking my time with you. Wanna be taking this time with you. something that you didn't see coming. Isn't that always how it goes? Isn't that how it goes, yeah? Wrapped up in something that I couldn't see coming. Isn't that always, isn't that always how it goes? Wrapped up in something that you didn't see coming. Yeah. Isn't that always how it goes? Yeah. Wrapped up in something that I couldn't see coming. Isn't that always, isn't that always how it goes? Baby, ease my mind and help me feel alive the way that you do. So hard to describe the way I feel inside when I'm with you. Baby, ease my mind and help me feel alive the way that you do. So hard to describe the way I feel inside when I'm with you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I can hear that, like that's drop top, like summer jam. I'm ready. Oh, I could, that is so good. Jackson, awesome. Wait, I can't hear you, Max, again. I think you pressed that button.
Thank you. Sorry. Yeah, shout out to Jackson. He did a lot of work on mixing our tracks as well, because he's aspiring audio engineer and aspiring performer. But, you know, I don't think you need to put aspiring in there anymore. I think you just put audio engineer and performer. Yeah.
Right.
Well, that was our solo and small ensemble spotlight. We're going to get back to the large ensemble stuff later, but we'll turn it over to the vocal side of music.
Yeah, so yeah, I'd love to talk about what we've been doing here really briefly and just share with you, if I can figure out my screen here situation. So yeah, we, let me press the right buttons. We had, you know, of course, the same sort of issue thing that we were doing with you as well, that you were doing as well, sort of working on BandLab. Here's a picture. I think I shared this one last time. Some singers, us in our Zoom session, taking a look at what we're working with, this digital audio workstation, and had a good time putting things together. But, you know, it has its limitations, and we want to sing together, and it can be frustrating. It can be all kinds of different things. But one thing I wanted to do was show a combination of different types of vocal music. And actually, you're going to see some of the pieces that we worked on very specifically for this, but I wanted to also show you what we sound like when we're together. And so I'm going to share a video of us performing a piece called Sing Me to Heaven by Gothrop. This is Chamber Singers from 2016. I've never shared these videos with our audiences before, so I'm super excited to share this with you. Most of the choir members here are long gone. You can, I think, can you see their faces? Is it still sharing right? Can you see this all right, Max?
Yep.
Okay, good. You can see most of these faces are long gone, have moved on. Many of them have graduated and gone to Sac State. One of the singers is hidden way back here. His name is Arvin Gaza, but he actually came back to choir now. But this is a lovely piece that we performed on campus in our art studio. And so a chance to hear what choirs sound like, again, when they're all together. This is Sing Me to Heaven.
In my heart sequestered chambers lie truths stripped of poet's gloss, words of
Wow, gorgeous.
Thank you. Boy, I miss that. I miss being able to be in a room full of singers, and we've got such really good singers now. I get to hear them in sort of this broken practice session that we do, you know, but it really is something to just be in front of them. And so here we are, making do with what we can. I've got one more from that group that I wanted to share with everyone. I guess I don't have to go back to the slideshow the way I was doing it before. I can just share directly into this program. And this is called Wade in the Water, and it's a spiritual, it's an arrangement by Rosephine Powell. And so it's got a lot more rhythm to it than the traditional version of Wade in the Water, which is usually a little bit more slow and mournful sounding. There's something mysterious about sort of the text that says God's gonna trouble the water. But in this one, it's a little bit more, there's a little bit more movement going on in the vocals, but a pretty stellar group. So this is another performance by them before I show you our group today performing more virtually. This is Wade in the Water.
Wade in the water.
there you have
Great, I love that.
a lot of fun to do that with the group. Thank you very much. I want to move on to our group that we have now. We're switching. I think the sound quality is very strange from that video that we did, but it was great to be in. Yes, some of you were asking. It was the art gallery on campus. It was fairly new to us then, only a few years ago, but a lovely acoustic place to sing. We could stand there and sort of make sound, and it was just really quite wonderful to be a part of that. And now, I was gonna, sorry, I have to be fair and show at least their names. I have to be kind and say the names of the people who were there. There they are. But looking at our group that's coming up, that we're working with now, they, of course, as we talked about, have to use this more electronic distance way, you know, of performing. We get to practice a little bit together and having little sectionals and stuff like that. But ultimately, we have to do this apart. One of the ways we did that was we created a round. We used a round. Dona nobis pacem is a very simple, young round that's used, 16th century traditional piece. And it's done around the holidays, done all year long, really, but all the text is give us peace, is what it says over and over again. And so the way it's presented is I had the choir sing all three parts of the round in succession, as you normally would, but they only sang it once. And then after that, we digitally manipulated it into a round. So all of the people who sang have never heard themselves singing it as a round, which is kind of hard to do in a virtual setting, a virtual learning setting. So, and rather than having them recorded as a round, we had them recorded in unison, and we worked with someone to help us actually arrange it into this actual three-part performance. So let's take a listen to Dona nobis pacem.
Dona nobis pacem, pacem. Dona nobis pacem. Dona nobis pacem. Dona
Good job, choir. Wow. Magic.
Good job. Love it.
I
like the
what I
idea.
like about Thank you. What I like about what Sarah did was we didn't want to make it sound like an electronic choir, you know? So you could tell that sometimes things didn't line up perfectly. You know, it sounded like a group of people who were working there live. And I was struck at the beauty of a lot of the singing that was done that continued to sort of renew itself as the piece went on. It sort of sounded fresh and new each time. So congratulations, singers, for doing as what John said. I think John Yosef was one of our singers, and he's sort of singing blind. It's kind of the way it is in this sort of setting. It is kind of singing blind. You're by yourself. The last piece that we have for you is a piece called Peanut Butter. And it's written in 2019, brand new young piece and a young composer. Carlos Cordero is actually, he went to my alma mater, at least where I went did my master's at University of Houston. And I was just looking for new stuff, looking for new things last year, actually. And this piece, this funky little silly piece came up, and I was like, that's a lot of fun. And then I found out that he went to U of H and studied under Dr. Betsy Cook Weber, who is an award-winning choral conductor. David Ashley White, he studied with the composition with him, and he was actually one of my professors at the time when I was there too. So it's exciting to see this very young composer, born in '92, yikes, I feel old, doing great work in his education program, Happy Composer, as well as fun, silly, crazy things like this. And so this is actually a video that was put together by the students. They filmed themselves doing all kinds of crazy things associated with peanut butter. The lyrics are very easy to remember. They are peanut butter. And it's sort of an exploration of that. We want to thank greatly Mr. Peanut Butter himself, John Yosefa, and there he is in all his glory, who put the film work together, helped edit all of the different things that people put together. So we're really, really super thrilled by his work. I'm gonna try to switch over here and see if I can get this right. Again, this is another one of those premieres that that our students have not yet heard. Here we go. So do you see the screen black right now? Great. Here we go.
Peanut butter, 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 peanut, peanut butter, peanut, peanut butter. Almond? Peanut butter, peanut butter, peanut butter, peanut butter. Peanut butter, 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 butter, peanut 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 butter,
Peanut.
peanut butter.
Yes.
Peanut butter. 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 Peanut
Yes.
There was a postlude, I see.
Wow, you all had too much fun with that. That's awesome.
Congratulations, choir, and thank you very much, John Yosefa, for doing all of that very, very difficult work in putting this together, doing quadruple duty, really, singing and the performance, as well as doing the work with the video. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I had fun enjoying watching all of that. I did a couple of videos in there, but you know, we've seen so many people putting together these virtual ensembles, and sometimes they're singing live, and sometimes they're mouthing the words, and so it's interesting to sort of see how you take your music to the next level, as it were. You know, after you've done the singing and the production, and then coming up with a visual aspect to it. It was daunting for a lot of students, but I think that as a start, as a first kind of video, I've never done anything like that with a choir before, so I thought that was pretty fun to try out.
It's a great year to try something new, and yeah, that's awesome. That's going to be something you're going to keep in the archive for a long time, I know. Good
Absolutely, definitely be doing that. And that's the end of our selections. We will wait till the next performance to feature our gospel choir. They won't be featured in today's offerings.
Great. So then I will take the helm, and I'll share two pieces that we recorded with the Instrumental Music Ensemble to finish out the program. The first one is a Stephen Bryant piece called Dusk. It's a really beautiful, beautiful ballad. I guess I'm considering it a ballad, but it's more or less like a tone poem, I suppose. Slow, beautiful, serene, very intimate. And we just tried to play this as well as we could and just kind of take a straight approach. So you'll see the students featured on the slideshow that I'll share. All right, so here we go. Okay. And again, the CRC Instrumental Music Ensemble features students who are enrolled in all three of these courses here: the orchestra, the jazz band, and the concert band. Ooh, lovely. Great job, concert band.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. Of course, that
I
was
love
everyone. I
the
think
mood.
concert band. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, everybody.
Um, yeah, lovely. Really colorful piece. Again, that was Dusk by Stephen Bryant. Great composer, has been really popular in the concert band world. And I chose this piece because it has a flexible instrumentation, so you can play it with any ensemble that you'd like. Um,
Mhm.
and that's really, really helpful in this particular kind of setting. A lot of composers are going to this model of composing for flexible ensembles because they know teachers are dealing with this situation. So,
Right.
um, okay, so we're gonna switch gears and go on to our last piece of the performance for our side and for the day. This is going to be a piece called Sharp Nine, and this was written by Omar Thomas, who is a composer who just took a position at the University of Texas, Austin. He was at the Peabody Conservatory most recently, and he was at Berklee School of Music before that as a professor of composition and jazz trombonist, composer, just incredible. And he's really blowing up as a composer in the, again, the concert band world, but his roots are in jazz improvisation and harmony and jazz composition. But people are really drawn to his music. So since the pandemic, he wrote this piece called Sharp Nine to kind of give an opportunity to all people to improvise. It's written kind of in the style of an old New Orleans piece. And so we're going to feature people who maybe haven't soloed before in their whole life on a 12-bar blues called Sharp Nine. And it's totally in line with my philosophy that everyone should have some exposure to jazz, and especially just improvisation, whether that's improvisation in the jazz style or just improvisation in general. It's a really good thing for your creative spirit, and to kind of apply all the things that you're learning in your music classes, and just experiment and be curious and have fun with music. So
Agreed.
yeah, here we go. I'll share my screen and this. Here we go. This is Sharp Nine. You'll see the soloists on the screen as they perform, so you know who's playing when, and there's a special guest appearance as well. That's that.
Nice.
Great job,
Wow.
soloists. Great job, everybody. Thank you to all the students for all your hard work this round. It was a lot of fun.
That was really awesome. Congratulations to you. That was really like a lot of fun and like got a groove going. I was like, how did they get all of that stuff done and put together? And yeah, I really love that you had them improvising and students trying it out for the first time. That's what this experience is all about. So many new things, so many firsts, and things that will stay with them for many a year. So congratulations to you and congratulations to your students. That was really, really wonderful.
Oh, and you and yours as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, that was the end of our program. So we just want to say that, you know, we love having you all here in the virtual world, and we're glad that you're engaging with us, and we hope to see you again next week. We have an In the Studio series with Keshav Batish, who is a multi-instrumentalist, music scholar, and president of the Santa Cruz Baroque Festival. I also hear he's a jazz drummer and, again, multi-instrumentalist of all kinds. That's going to be hosted by Dr. Lisa Beebe, and that's next Friday at noon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. We hope to have you there along with all of our programming. Please, please, please follow and find out what's happening at crc.losrios.edu/music. If you go there, you can see upcoming performances and find out what's going on. You can also see missed performances. If you missed one of our Fridays, they're going to be on our YouTube page. Our handle is @music@CRC on Facebook and Instagram, and you can look us up any of those places and find out you know, what you've missed. I believe a new video came out of the one we did with Karen Slack, the performance that she gave specifically for us. I just saw the video for that today. So thanks to everyone who helped put that together. Thanks to all the music faculty. Thank you, Gabriel, for hiding back there and making all of the screens change and so much more. Thank you, students. Congratulations to you for all your hard work and being able to put together this performance today. We know that this is challenging for you, and we hope that you see the fruits of your extremely intent labor. All of the work that you put into it, we hope you see the results of that, because I think it's pretty extraordinary. We are really thrilled for you.
Yeah. And as we do
All
with
right.
every concert, we're going to finish with the CRC fight song. So if you know the lyrics, you can sing along, and we'll see you next week. All right. Thank you.
Here we go. Bye-bye.
Bye.